Hey guys, it's me, Gabriel, coming to you with that evening spark. Your battle tested spirit. Battle tested spirit, something like that. Anyways, your battle tested spirit. So I was doing this photography assignment today, and one of the instructors for this training that these people were doing was going on about how they have them learn how to do this training. They were doing stuff with like tourniquets and like it was medical stuff, and they have them do it, he explained, in a stressful situation. So they're gonna be yelling at them. They even had them at one point where they were in a black room with only a strobe light and smoke and like a red light also that was flashing. It was just very disorienting. They even had like loud music playing, whatever. Just a lot of stuff to put them under like that stress, and they have to do it in a very timely manner. And so the reason he said that they have them do that kind of engage in that during that training is that by doing that, by going through that in that stressful situation, they'll be more ready for when they potentially may have to very well do it, or hopefully it's in a less stressful situation in a sense. Because learning how to, for instance, and this isn't the point of the conversation, but like for instance, learning how to like apply a tourniquet if you were to get in a car wreck, for instance, that could be really helpful. So there's a lot of applicability. Now, how that correlates to the message at hand is that I think sometimes, and myself included, we get down in the dumps over our struggles. And man, we're just like, this is a grind. This sucks. We start to get depressed, angry, frustrated, sad, fearful, anxious, all these things that don't ever seem to lead to anywhere good. So, but with that, the thing about it all is that there's a certain sort of battle tested spirit that we need, because when you are battle tested, and this isn't to say God just is sending you out to the lions because he wants to like rough you up and then you'll be better. It's more about by going into these environments, these spiritually austere environments, if we want to get militaristic, it's a military word they like to say a lot, austere environments. But anyways, the reason we seem to go into these battle zones, and it doesn't have to be guns flaring, what have you. Our wars are often they're internal, and then from that, you got like your workplace drama, your family drama, your friend and relationships, and all this, backfighting, or is it backbiting or backsliding? There's a lot of discrepancies, a lot of struggles we seem to go through. And so there is your battleground, okay? Don't think you got to be in Iraq having IEDs blowing up next to you to feel like you're in a battleground. Let me tell you, it feels plenty tough enough as it is. You're where you're at is enough. That is what I'll say. And the reason God sends us there, I think sometimes, is that there's lessons to be had. And when we elevate our thinking, we recognize, one, it's imperative that you recognize that everything is for your benefit. And that God only gives of good, for your maximum benefit. And that he's not one, you hear the trope, God may give you any more than you can handle. And that is true, to be sure. And I think it's kind of like when you like pulled on a bow and arrow. The further you pull it, the further that arrow goes. And the further an arrow can go is also based off of the poundage, I think would be the terminology. Pretty much like a 100-pound bow requires more pullback than like a 50-pound bow. That's about the extent I understand with all that stuff. But the point is that you can go further though because there's more of a stronger shot. And our character is the bow for which our arrow flies. So building that spiritual character, and the reason we go through all these things is that for us, I think it's all, everybody's journey is individualized. So, but the reoccurring theme of everybody's journey, I think, still goes back to forgiveness. Where you're at in your life, you are experiencing situations for which are calling your forgiveness to whoever and whatever it may be. And that's something you're needing to work out through fear and trembling. By that I mean, and I think this is what the passage is getting at, is that it's not that you should be afraid and trembling, but it's that you go through those things that would cause you to be fearful and tremble. It's kind of like those wall of fire that you need to go through. And when something's battle tested, for instance, like a coal, it's under that immense pressure, but by it, you can create a diamond. And I would say then that our battle testing of our spirit, the end product is to get us to judge not and forgive all. If there were ever I think ethos is the terminology, like just a resounding thought for what the Wolfpack represents, it would be, I would say, judge not, forgive all. Because when you do those two things, you got it, baby. Because it's not the person who goes to church the most, who is this almighty theologian, or this person who knows all these Bible passages, or what have you. That's not what makes someone spiritually battle tested. It's the person who forgives the most, who loves and shows mercy the most. That's the true battle tested spirit. And the cool part about all that is that we have an immense amount of opportunities for which to express that. The day that you have at hand is more than enough for which to express this lesson, to allow your spirit to be refined. Trust me, God, He knows what you got, and He's given you these opportunities to forgive your brother in this manner. Don't think that you're not doing enough, or that it's not good enough, or that you wish you could do some almighty thing. It's kind of like Naaman and Elijah, how he tells him to go wash in the Jordan, and he gets like 7 times, and he gets all bent out of shape. But then his servant's like, yo, if Elijah told you to go do something that was like really amazing, wouldn't you do it? Then, okay, well, if this is this menial thing, well, why not do that then? Because that's the thing. And God, don't think that you can't learn that for which God has given you. Because the final judgment, the judgment of God, the judgment for which we're all working towards, is that you are holy, eternal, free and whole, at peace forever in the heart of God. That, where is the world and where is the sorrow now? Proclaim this judgment. This is the one judgment. Normally, don't judge. Yes, but if you must judge, let this be your judgment. Because remember, you don't respond to things directly. You respond to things based off of your interpretation, which is based off of your judgments, which your judgments are based off of yourself internally, thus expressed outward, externally to your brothers. And let me tell you, friends, there is a release unlike anything you've ever felt whenever I really embrace that statement of judgment, that you, holy are you, eternal, free, and whole, at peace forever in the heart of God. Where is the world, and where is the sorrow now? Now, some Christians, they'll they'll lose their minds because I've said that we're, for some, I don't know why they, the Christian nation a lot of times gets bent out of shape because why is that in the Bible? Oh, I didn't see that exact passage. Blasphemy. This is Satanism. Well, here's the bottom line. First off, who am I to judge? Who are you to judge? Are we trying to take God's role? That's the thing. Because it's God's place to judge. And also, if by this judgment, does it cause you to hate? Does it cause you to hate your brother more? Does it cause you to not love him as much? Does it cause him to? Because by this judgment, does it cause you to get angry and become fearful? No, man. If by my judgment I am wrong, then yes, God will correct me, and He will correct you. But if it doesn't, and I'll leave that up to Him. It's not up to you or I to try to correct one another necessarily, but it's about foregoing our judgment and allowing that love of God to take place. At the end of the day, if my judgment be wrong, then I will know. Here's the thing, and this isn't like, some braggadocious thing. Like, for me, and I think a lot of us, you can tell when you're maybe going down the wrong path, man. I know, because I can, thinking back on stuff I've done where I know I probably shouldn't have done, and it doesn't work out, and in hindsight, I'm like, man, I really shouldn't have done that. I look back, and I'm like, that feeling was not trying to deceive me. It was trying to protect me to not go that way, but I just didn't want to listen. But this, when you really embrace that judgment, for me, it releases so much when you realize, it dawns upon you, I don't have to judge. I don't have to put that label on my brother that he's this adulterous person. It says in the Bible, there's this laundry list of these types of people that won't inherit the kingdom of heaven. But I say those labels won't inherit the kingdom of heaven. That says nothing of the child of God, from which God still holds their innocence and guiltlessness intact. And that is His judgment. Now, you could say otherwise. Go right ahead. It doesn't change the facts. Because Jesus, of all people, the person whom which we celebrate and worship, He didn't hate the adulterous woman. He didn't hate these people, these supposed sinners. He dined with them. He ate with them. Do you think He was railing on them the whole time, telling them how bad they were, thinking, how could you? And this was before His death on the cross, as you guys like to point out. So if He, during His supposed life on this world, was not condemning, that where, yes, He says to the adulterous woman, go and sin no more, by that He means, as I have not seen you in a false idea, so too see them, everyone, your brothers, as I have seen you, as I have loved you. And by that, there will be no need to sin, because you will see your brother rightly. You'll see the truth of who they are. Would you rather attest their innocence or their guilt? For God says, be ye therefore holy as I am holy. He says that all the way back in Exodus. I think it's one of those. He says it. You can look it up. Sometimes the passages get away from me. But if God proclaims something, and His promises are certain, who are we to say otherwise? But I'll leave you with that, my friends. So, that is the battle-tested spirit. This is what I have come to know as what it reflects. That the truly battle-tested spirit is that for which can forgive all and judge not. Judge not and forgive all. Either way, it doesn't matter. It works all the same. They go hand in hand. But this is what I got for you, friends. I surely and most dearly hope this wish has helped you. And we, at the Wolfpack, wish you well and Godspeed. Peace, friends.